Hey guys, hope you're all doing good. In today's video, we will be learning how to model and simulate a machine vise. A machine vise is a clamping device which is used to hold workpieces. Say that you have to drill a hole or mill a particular component, you can take that component and hold it on the vise and perform the operations. You can also use it for doing simple things such as filing. Now, if you take a look at a vise, it contains several components, but the major parts are the stationary jaw, where the machine vise obviously does not move. That's why it's called stationary. So the stationary jaw is mounted on the base of the device, and you can see that we have also created provisions so that you can screw it on the table or even the machine. Okay, now then you have the moving component, which is called as the moving jaw, right? So you can see that there's a handle that's attached to the jaw, and there's a slider that's connected to the stationary jaw. Moving this is very simple. You can use this handle to move it, and then once you place the component, you just rotate it so that you tighten the component. So our strategy here is quite simple. We are going to first design the individual parts and then assemble them later, and finally run the motion analysis. And I'm going to get started with the stationary jaw, right? So to do this, we are first going to create a new part, right? So let's go to File, New, and open up a new part file. All right, then we are going to be checking our unit system. All right, and as I mentioned in the last video, for this entire course we will be using millimeters, right? So let's just select millimeters, and then we are ready to sketch. So we are going to select the top plane and click on sketch. So then we are going to create a rectangle. We are going to use the center rectangle tool, select the center and then drag it out, then hit escape, and then let's click on smart dimensions to provide dimensions for our rectangle. So the height is going to be 175 mm in height, and the width is going to be 100 millimeters. Now you can see that the sketch is fully defined. So let's exit the sketch. Now we are going to convert this guy into a 3D model. So we are going to use extruded boss base to do this. Now we are going to extrude this by 10 millimeters, which is the default value. So just click OK. So next we are going to be modeling the mounting component. So let's click on the top of the rectangle and sketch on that. Now use the shortcut Ctrl+8 to view this particular rectangle along its normal direction. Then let's use the center rectangle tool and create a small rectangle as shown, and then hit escape. Now let's apply smart dimensions. So width is going to be 30 millimeters and the height is going to be 15 millimeters. You can see that our sketch is fully defined, and hence we are going to exit the sketch. Now we are going to extrude this particular component as well, and this time the distance by which we are extruding is going to be 5 millimeters, and let's click OK. So next we are going to be designing a nut along with a thread. So let's click on the front plane and let's go for sketch. I'm pressing Ctrl+8 to view the geometry along its normal, and we are going to use the circle tool to first create a circle. So make sure that the newly extruded face is kind of a tangent to the circle. So select the origin and the center of the circle and click on make vertical. So this is going to put them along a straight line, and let's say that the diameter is going to be 12.5 millimeters. And as you can see, we need this to be a tangent. So select the circle and select the face and make sure you click on make tangent. So now everything is fully defined. So we are going to now create one other circle which is going to be concentric to our previous circle. So select that and drag it out. Now let's click on smart dimensions, and instead of providing the diameter, we are going to say that the new circle is going to be 1.5 millimeters offset from the old circle. So now our sketch is fully defined, and we are going to extrude this particular sketch as well, and this time we are going to be extruding it using the mid plane option. So from the mid plane, you're going to have 2.5 mm extrusion on one side and 2.5 mm on the other side. So this is our nut, but in order to fully define it, we need to make sure that we create the thread, right? So whenever you have trouble finding a command, go to the search command option on the top and type in thread, right? You can type in any tool that you are trying to find, and SolidWorks is going to tell you where that particular tool is. So we have selected it and just click on OK. Now we need to provide the starting location for the thread. So let us select this top edge, and the end is going to be up to a particular selection. So let's just rotate the component and select the ending edge, right? So this is where our thread is going to be created. Now we are going to make sure that the die type is metric, and for the size we are going to type in M24 cross 2.0, so which is a standard thread. So let's click on OK. When you do this, you might notice that the thread is not getting created. That's because you have not selected the extrude thread option, right? So when you do that, you can see that the thread is getting created. So now we are going to select the line tool, and we are going to draw a line from here to here as shown, and we are going to extend. We are going to keep doing this, and we are going to create 2 more lines. Now to set up the dimensions, we are going to use the shortcut key S. So hit down S and then click on the dimension, select this line and type in a value of 115 millimeters, and select the left line and type in 55 millimeters. Select the bottom line from this particular point to this particular point and type in a value of 150 millimeters, and let's click on OK. So we are going to be selecting and trimming the extra lines. Make sure you use the power trim option and remove the unwanted sketches. Click on OK and exit the sketch tool. So we are going to be converting this into a 3D model as well. So we use the extruded boss base option. So what we are going to be doing is, this time we are going to use the offset option because we don't want the extrusion to be there, and type in a 20 millimeter. Right, so the extrusion is going to be created at a distance of 20 millimeters away, right? And then the extrusion length is going to be 5 mm. So let's click on OK. So now what we need to do is, we need to create the same extrusion on the other side. So what you can do is click on right click, and what we are going to do is, we are going to show the sketch. We are going to extrude the sketch again, but this time we are going to be doing it on the other side. So use the offset method and type in 20 millimeters, but then just reverse the direction, right? So this saves us a lot of time. You don't have to sketch it again and do it. All right. Now let's click on OK. The other thing that I want to do is, I want to create a fillet. So we are going to click on edit sketch, and for this particular feature we are going to be adding a fillet, right? So fillet is nothing but a rounded corner. So we are going to provide a fillet of 5 millimeters at this particular point. Click on OK, and if you exit the sketch, then you will see that this has been changed on the 3D model on both the extrusion, right? So this is very, very handy. If you had created 2 sketches, you have to do this process 2 times, but since we did only once, we save a lot of time. So let's hide this sketch for now. So next we are going to be creating a jaw, right, which is going to be resting on this particular face. So click on this face and click on sketch, and use Ctrl 8 to change the view. So we are going to start off by creating a rectangle first. Use the corner rectangle option. So click on this particular point and this particular point and hit escape. Now we are going to give some constraints here. So we are going to select this small edge and this edge, and we are going to apply a collinear constraint. So they are going to be on the same line. Now we are going to select the center point and the origin, and we are going to select make vertical, and let's click on OK. So now we are going to be providing dimensions by hitting the S shortcut key, and use the dimensions option, and let's select the vertical dimension to be 65 millimeters, and select the horizontal distance and type in a value of 90 millimeters. So now you can see that our sketch is fully defined. So now we are going to apply a fillet to this sketch. So click on fillet, and our fillet is going to have a radius of 5 millimeters. Make sure that you select all the 4 corners of the rectangle that we just created, and hit OK, and our fillet is going to appear. So everything is fully defined. So let's exit the sketch right now. So now what we are going to do is, we are going to extrude this particular sketch that we have created. Extrusion distance is 5 millimeters. Click on merge results, and that's it. Now we are going to select this particular face and click on sketch. You can kind of see that we are kind of following a repeated pattern, right? So once you kind of have a good idea of what you want to do, it's very easy to follow. So let's use the corner rectangle tool right now to create a rectangle on the top, and we are going to apply some constraints to it. Now note that there are multiple ways to draw a CAD model. If you're already aware of some basic principles, you can go ahead and follow that. So let's select this line and this particular line and use the collinear constraint, and we are going to do the same thing on the top. So now we are going to define just a single dimension. Use the S key, select the vertical dimension and type in a value of 30 millimeters. Right, there you go, and let's click on OK. So here we are also going to apply a fillet. So click on the fillet tool. You can see that it's already set at 5 mm. So select this point, this particular point, this point, and the last corner, and hit OK. So let's click OK and exit the sketch. So now, as you might have already guessed, we are going to extrude this as well. So this time we are going to extrude it by a distance of 5 millimeters, and make sure that merge result is not selected. Why are we doing this? When you do this, you will be creating two separate solids. So now if you click on edit feature and if you click on merge results, you will see that now it's a single solid, right? So this is the difference between using the merge result option and not using it, basically. So we are going to uncheck the merge results so that we are going to have separate solids in this particular case. So now we are ready to save this particular component, right? So we are going to be saving it as a stationary jaw. So please go ahead and save it, and in the next video we are going to be letting you know how to model the moving jaw on the slider. Alright, thank you so much for watching this video. Bye.